There was also a rumor.
We don't talk about rumors, we talk about facts.
No, just let him say his rumor, man.
There was a rumor.
No, rumor.
I am quoting the
What
rumor.
are we talking about?
It's a rumor.
Oh, you better not be making a tangent right here.
Go on.
Go.
It is kind of sad to think of Amnesia as falling into that category now.
Dead Space was the biggest one.
Yeah.
Oh
for
yeah.
that, you know what I mean? Like, holy shit, Dead
with the
Space
new-
1, you know, like...
With the new downloadable content, Dead Space Awakening, they stated as a quote, and this is a quote that I can actually back up, the most disturbing experience to date. And
But I could say that about Machine for Pigs. It's a pretty disturbing experience.
well, he was referring to about in terms of Dead Space, like the content they've released, it's the most disturbing.
I know. And how much do you think they got paid to say something like that as well?
Well, I've actually seen the gameplay. I've played it.
You've played it?
Yeah, a bit of it.
Where?
All right. All right. I'll replay it. I've seen
okay.
gameplay. I've seen gameplay, and it strikes me as a very thrilling game, but not necessarily scary. That's what they've done. That's what the industry's become, a very thrilling experience.
But like, why is companies doing? Why are companies doing this? Like, why are they taking their horror franchises and I don't know?
Only making 3 anyway.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know we were
He
recording.
wanted me to try back up his fact. It's fine. It's valid. Fine.
We don't give a shit.
Why horror games aren't as scary as well? There is scary horror. It's not horror games. It's why horror games get less scary in their sequels. That's what you mean, right?
Yeah, so Dead Space is
Dead Space is the biggest example. The biggest
Dead
example.
Space is the.
Call of Duty
the most
itself.
recent Dead Space. There's co-op in it. There's microtransactions.
So
There's lots of fighting with other
It's all
people,
shoot-
with
it's all
shooting and
lots of
guns
shooting.
and bow, bow, bow. And it's just, it's not a horror game. It's not a horror game.
not.
It's not the, I mean, yeah, Amnesia really did set up that whole, I guess, side genre for horror where it's like you're defenseless and all that. And you can have that type of horror game where, you know, you have weapons, you can fight back, but you don't have to beat the living shit out of it until it looks something like an action game, you know?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. No, like, number one, even though you were fighting back and you were killing them and you were a bit of a badass, you know, it was scary to get into the fight. You didn't want to get into a fight scene with the monsters, you know what I'm saying? Like, they scared the shit out of you.
You didn't have enough ammo to be like, I'm going to go into this fight, kill them all, and restock up at the end of the fight and be back where it was. You're like, shit, I have 3 bullets.
Yeah.
I hope there's not a monster in this.
It's just,
in
the
this
monsters
locker.
are just creepy as well.
Yeah.
Like,
and the fact that you had to like shoot the certain area, like the limbs off and stuff,
yeah.
it made it like each shot had to count kind of thing. So
Yeah.
that put your brain under more stress.
And
And
when you messed up, you flip shit and like.
Yeah.
I guess the thing
How
with
you
the Dead
die.
Space creatures, they were more. They screamed and they yelled at you and they
They're
ran
still doing
really fast. They
number
were
3
more
though, right?
aggressive.
are they still going to be this creepy creatures?
I've seen gameplay and some of them aren't like that.
Right.
Some of them are just you just shoot them like they're just something to shoot. They're a shooting bag.
Which makes the whole game overall less scary when you see
Well,
one.
there's-
You just
where's
know you're going to
But
kill
You
it.
know,
you're
it's
not
like
frightened
unless you
when
see-
if you miss a shot, you're not like, oh, I have to reload now. In that time, it's going to get to me. Now it's, oh, I missed a shot. It's alright, my mate will get the headshot, and then I'm
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
oh no, I missed
Like-
the shot. It's okay. I'll pull out this fucking ridiculous gun and just. Oh, they're fucking dead because you can weapon customize and make things like death machines.
With Dead Space, number 1 was very cool, very scary. Number 2, they said, okay, we have to balance it perfectly. We want to make it. We want to get in more into the feeling of Isaac being a badass, but we still want to make it terrifying.
It was creepy. It was creepy.
I enjoyed number 2.
Yes.
And like the overall cinematic feel of the game did make it really good. But then towards the end of the game, there were just so many enemies, and it just became what I'm pretty sure Dead Space 3 is now.
Yeah, but it was good that it just did it a little bit at the end of the game, you know what I'm saying? It's not Halo.
Yeah.
Back
No.
to-
You're not shooting aliens
Well,
and shit.
pal,
You're
we're
scared.
not going to start talking about Halo.
Also, Resident Evil is another example of a horror game, traditionally a very scary horror game, becoming very mainstream. Iconic things with the Resident Evil games is when you pulled out your gun, you stood still. And then in the most recent game, there's like some crazy like combat mechanics where you can like fucking do backflips and kick the zombies' heads off, and now you can run while you have your gun pulled out.
Yeah.
So
Is that not something to do with the progression of the story as well, though, the whole combat thing? Now you're like a combat team trying to
Yeah, now you're like,
Yeah.
it's like
You
playing
know what I mean?
soccer, but with leg zombies.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, it's like, yeah,
So
you're a combat
yeah,
team. You're a specialised SWAT team that take down fucking zombies.
I'm not frightened anymore.
It's a little bit like that, but there are chicks on the team, so that like
Oh,
balances
chicks.
out.
Yeah, that.
You know, you need to have that like muscle to boob ratio. That just
Muscle.
And none of
It's a zombie to boob ratio.
and all of this is not terrifying whatsoever. This actually goes into a discussion I was planning to have with you guys about why zombie games are no longer horror games.
no. I think zombie games were never horror games. Now they're starting to become horror games.
I don't think they were ever horror games. They were arcadey.
Yeah, I agree.
But now they're
Yeah,
actually
but-
like, oh shit, zombie games would make a pretty good horror game.
Really?
They're starting to do stuff.
I don't know many
State of Decay and
zombie
stuff are
specific
still
horror
around
games.
to like keep that peace though, like the feel of I can take out 1 million zombies, but then I think then again
I know. I think they're slowly breaking away from that. I have to have some kind of arcadey feel in a zombie game. I think that they are slowly.
In
breaking
my
away.
opinion, zombie games should be and are becoming survival games. Zombies
Yeah.
should be survival. They're not so much horror. They're like
Yeah, no, I
like
totally
State of
agree.
Decay. Obviously, I'm going to bring State of Decay up. That is awesome, in my opinion. The whole
It's pretty
you're
good.
surviving. You've got a group of survivors with you. That kind of feel.
But every zombie game has it where, okay, I'm gonna have this machete. Now I'm gonna engineer it to bring out electricity so I can slice away people's arms
that
and
kind
shock
of shit's
them.
weird.
That's the arcadey side.
Yeah,
that's the arcadey side.
Oh,
yeah.
arcade.
Like
And like Dead Island, when you when you attack something. I mean, I took it off when I played it because it just annoyed the shit out of me. But you'd like shoot something or like slash it, and it's like 10, 15, like shows your damage, and that's cool in a game
cool.
like Borderlands.
No, it's cool that they did
Yeah.
that.
But it's not
because
cool in a
arcade.
zombie game.
I liked it because they're saying this is an arcade zombie game. This is not. But
But they made
But
it
when they
so-
advertised it, that's not what they were saying.
Yeah, that's right.
yeah,
Yeah.
And the look of the game as well. You take Borderlands, it looks like a cartoon.
yeah,
Yeah.
it looks.
It should have numbers.
The
like
whole
that.
numbers
But
thing popping
when
out.
you have it
fits.
looking like freaking like a beautiful looking game like that, you don't want freaking arcadey numbers popping up everywhere you want.
No.